Hi, I'm Jan with Academic Technologies. There are a number of tools nowadays to streamline the process of assessing students. While classic pen and paper quizzes can be limiting and take up valuable time, using tools such as mobile devices can speed up the process of delivering, collecting, and analyzing data on student understanding. This can allow you to improve your instruction on a day-to-day or even hour-by-hour basis. In this video, we're providing a short compare and contrast between a variety of different mobile assessment platforms in order to help you select the platform that will best suit your classroom needs. If you have any questions while watching this video, you can reach out to CNU's Academic Tech team or to me personally at jana.docherty@cnu.edu. For this video, we'll be comparing three of the more popular platforms used here at CNU: Socrative, Kahoot, and Turning Point Cloud. We'll be comparing these platforms based on key points many faculty members consider when choosing their classroom tools. These factors include availability, classroom size, security, content variety, assessment storage and analysis, and Blackboard integration. First, let's start with availability. This includes how faculty and students access the platform, as well as the cost for both that faculty member and the students. We'll be using a few short statements about how each platform is put together to help explain this one. Socrative is a web-based mobile assessment platform, meaning that both students and faculty can access the platform through any device with access to the internet through a browser, as you can see here through Chrome. However, with Socrative, both faculty and students can also access it through a free app available on the Apple and Google Play stores. The app functions basically identically to the web version, but separates it out into its own app, which is useful for faculty who don't want their students browsing the internet while taking an assessment. For this platforms, teachers can create a login to create, store, and distribute their assessments, but students are not required to make a login. There's no cost for either access to the basic platform or the apps. Kahoot, on the other hand, is another web-based mobile assessment platform that focuses more on gamified assessment than Socrative does. You'll see what we mean in greater detail in later videos focusing on the platform, but suffice it to say, its focus is on making assessments quick, fun, and most of all, accessible to students. Faculty members can create an account for free to create and give quizzes in their classroom. But, like Socrative, students do not need to create an account in order to engage with a quiz. We'll discuss this in a little more detail when talking about the platform security. Our third platform is Turning Point Cloud, a specialized mobile assessment platform already used throughout several CNU classrooms. Faculty can access their login through a downloaded desktop application to create and distribute their assessments. If you select this platform, the Academic Tech team can help set you up with the equipment you would need to start using Turning Point Cloud. This includes a receiver that plugs into your computer to receive your student responses. Unlike the previous two platforms, however, students can engage with assessments in one of two ways. The first method is through a specialized device designed to connect immediately to your receiver. This device, as well as the yearly required license for its use, are available at the captain's locker. The second method is that students can also use the free ResponseWare app available on the Apple and Google Play stores. Keep in mind, however, that any student using the ResponseWare app will still need to purchase the yearly license to make use of it. The method that your students use in your classroom can depend on price or simply on your classroom policy. Next, let's talk about classroom size. Because classrooms at CNU trend towards smaller environments, we won't spend much time on this one, but it's worth knowing the basics. Socrative's free version has a class size limited to about 50 students per session. However, for faculty members with larger classrooms, they may want to consider getting the Pro version because it will allow more. Kahoot has a simple structure which allows for an unlimited number of participants in each quiz. Essentially, you can have a class as large as you want. Turning Point Cloud also has an unlimited class size, however, it's a little more structured than Kahoot. Next, let's talk security. Our focus here is on two elements: protecting the results gathered from each assessment and ensuring that the people taking those assessments can be properly identified so that we know who's getting what results. As I mentioned, Socrative only requires instructors to create a login. Students join the assessment space through a code word provided by the professor that serves as the name of a digital classroom. As a result, the platform doesn't necessarily require students to have an immediate identifier when they log in to take your quiz. Fortunately, there's a feature within the instructor version of the platform that can help. When starting a quiz, instructors can set those quizzes to require a student to provide an identifier, like a name, at the beginning. We recommend making use of this feature with each quiz. Professors who post results on a public board may also want to consider developing a more anonymous system for their own classroom. For Kahoot, the login process is very similar to Socrative's free setup. The instructor has a login that stores quizzes, results, and other data, while students join an assessment through a specialized PIN code. Students can pull up this page at kahoot.it with a space for that PIN, which is randomly generated each separate time the instructor starts a quiz. In addition, Kahoot's system places a mandatory identifying space after entering the PIN at the beginning of each quiz, instead of making it optional like Socrative does. However, we still recommend implementing a system that makes students identifiable, and, if need be, anonymous. Now, Turning Point Cloud tackles security a little bit differently. Turning Point Cloud's setup process, which includes registering the device and its license in the student's Scholar, will tie student access to your quizzes to the student's university ID. In addition, each quiz or session a faculty member runs is assigned to a channel. So let's take a look. If we run a quick poll, I can see the channel that this session is being run on, channel 41. While anyone can access the session or the quiz that's being run, provided that they're within range of the faculty member's receiver and know the channel that's being used, only students who are registered will be identified within the session's results. In addition, instructors can also download lists of the students in their classes that are taking the assessment, which compare with that ID to make sure student access is secure and tied to their identity. This is true for both a dedicated device and responseware app software. Let's close this session. Finally, it's worth noting that many faculty prefer that the students use dedicated devices for security reasons. Namely, because the device is used for assessments and only assessments, they never have to worry about a student browsing the web on their phone in the middle of a quiz. The next most common question we receive for each platform is, can this platform cover the questions I like to use? Each platform has a differing level of variety of question types, and it's important to consider this when selecting one at the beginning of the school year. Socrative provides 3 question types when creating a quiz: multiple choice, true false, or short answer. The multiple choice and true false are automatically graded, while the short answer can be automatically graded based on inputted answers, or left alone based on how you intend to use the question. Questions can also include images, which is useful for maps or diagrams. Now, Kahoot is the most limited as far as content variety, as the platform only accepts multiple choice questions. The platform is automatically built to record speed of response as well, and display that in the form of points. At this point, the points scale is not fully known outside of Kahoot staff, and I wouldn't recommend it as a grading metric. However, Kahoot is also the only platform in this video that is built to incorporate video footage, courtesy of YouTube, and music files. Of the 3, Turning Point Cloud has the widest variety of content that can be placed in an assessment. While it uses the same types as Socrative and Kahoot, it also includes things like essay space, numeric response, ranking, and a wide variety of other question types. Once a faculty member starts taking quizzes with a mobile assessment platform, it's important to know how that platform handles the results for their quizzes, how they're analyzed, and how they can be retrieved by the faculty member in question. For Socrative, this process is fairly simple. As I mentioned earlier, this platform automatically grades its multiple choice and true-false questions, with an option to set short answer questions to be auto-graded as well. Once a quiz is finished, this auto-grading generates a set of reports, including full class statistics and breakdowns by student and by individual quiz question. I'm going to download a report from the reports section of Socrative. Now, it does download in the form of an Excel file, which is very useful visually, because as you can see here, I have the names of each of my students. I can see that it's organized into a grid showing their individual scores as students, but it also provides data on how many people got a given question incorrect, both with color coding and with an overall percentage. So any kind of information I need about the nature of this quiz and how well people did, I can get off of one grid. In Kahoot, as I mentioned, all the questions are auto-graded, which is pretty easy since they're all multiple choice. The results for each quiz are stored in a downloadable Excel file on the faculty member's account. These Excel files include total class results, breakdowns for individual students, and breakdowns by question. So now let's download the results from a quiz we did in Kahoot. Once again, it downloads as an Excel file, but this one's structured a little bit differently. We'll first see the whole class data on one tab inside the workbook. However, unlike Socrative, Kahoot's workbooks break things down a little bit more into separate sections of the book. So I can see individual students' final scores and the points they got, which is for how fast they got those answers, a question summary, and then individual breakdowns for each question. The one thing that they also add in that's unique to Kahoot's results analysis is that this Excel file provides the raw data before anything's calculated. So if you're the kind of professor who likes to analyze their own quiz results, you have everything you need to do so. Now for Turning Point Cloud. Turning Point Cloud stores quizzes that are taken through the desktop app onto your computer. After each assessment, you're given the option to save the session, which generates auto-graded results for the assessment, with a few exceptions such as essay questions. A faculty member can then access these results through the Manage tab of the desktop app and open them in the form of a report. So let's take a look. I can see here in the Manage portion of the desktop app, I've pulled up one of our more recent reports. I can see my first report is for each individual question, breaking it down for what percentage answered each type of question a certain way. I can also select results by participant or results detail. Say, for example, if I wanted to see the individual details of how a student answered each question. One thing that this platform provides that others don't as well is comparative results, which would allow me to select 2 questions for comparison and see how students are doing on one type of question versus another. The last category we need to discuss for all 3 platforms is Blackboard Integration, which essentially is the measure of how well this mobile assessment platform will work together with Scholar. This comparison is also one of the simplest. Both Socrative and Kahoot provide no direct integration options, but both of them have results that can be easily moved into Scholar due to their ability to export results into an Excel file. Turning Point Cloud, however, provides full integration into Blackboard, making the porting of quiz results into your gradebook quick and easy. In the end, deciding on a mobile assessment platform can come down to some relatively simple questions about how you want to use the platform and how you want your students to use the platform. We recommend that you take this video and its information as a springboard into your own investigation. Pick out the features that are most important to you and select a platform for mobile assessment that fits your classroom the best. Thank you for joining us for this video on mobile assessment platforms. If you're interested in trying out any of the platforms mentioned in this video, we've provided some additional information and links in the description below. You can also reach out to our team at Academic Technologies if you have any other questions or would just like help setting up one of these platforms for your classroom experience. You can also reach out to me directly at jana.docherty@cnu.edu. Bye!